football in Ghana and Africa one more time. In the studio tonight with me is the new Chief Executive Officer of Heart of Oak, who is exclusively speaking to us for the first time since his appointment as CEO a few weeks ago. Heart of Oak, we all know, have made more managerial changes at CEO level than any club the last 3 years in Ghana. Executive Chairman Togbe Afede took over the running of the club as majority shareholder somewhere in 2011, 2012. And since then, the Phobians have had Fred Krensil, Neil Armstrong, and now they have Gerald Ankrah as, they've had these people as CEOs. Activities around the club the last 3 years plus events of the past clearly tell how much grace one requires to manage the champion club as Heart of Oak is known. The likes of Harry Zakor, Tommy Okine, Vincent Sowodote, and few others have endless stories of the difficulties in managing Ghana's oldest existing club. So if we have the privilege of hosting the new Chief Executive Officer, who surely knows what it means to manage a club of this magnitude, we're asking if Heart of Oak is manageable. My guest is Gerald Ankrah, new CEO of Heart of Oak. We'll do a quick break. When we return, we'll delve into the conversation, whether he had any idea about his appointment and what went into appointing him, because his appointment came as a surprise to many. I'm sure he admits that. We're back after this break.
Exclusive men's suits and shirts, shoes and accessories to match. Visit X-Base. X-Base, no limit for choices.
Experience a new and complete guide to convenient shopping from the comfort of your home. Choose from a wide variety of goods and services with delightful discounts and promotions. Quality, accessible and affordable. Discover new and exciting products on the market. Watch All New TV Market on Metro TV, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. with a repeat telecast on Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. TV Market, your most comprehensive shopping guide.
Welcome back from the break. The program is Sports Fire live on Metro TV. My guest is Gerald Ankrah, new CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Heart of Oak. He's the third CEO to work under Executive Chairman Togbe Afede since he took over the club somewhere in 2012. Sir, thank you very much for your time tonight. You were telling me how you sleep very early. By 9 p.m. you're gone. So you see, that's what taking up jobs like Heart of Oak CEO will do to you. I'm not sure you have slept very well the last, 3 weeks or 1 month since your appointment. Have you slept very well, peacefully, like you have done all your life working?
Oh, yes, I guess.
Are you sure?
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. But I must say, yes, I've been enjoying my sleep in the evenings.
You're sure?
Yes.
But the calls obviously are more now.
The what?
The calls.
Oh, yes. I think it's a matter of attaching some professional outlook towards that.
How do you manage it? You turn off your phones?
No, I don't turn off.
You have
my
a secretary
phones.
who answers your phone calls now.
There's a PRO who schedules every call.
Okay.
And every, appointment such as
it
this.
works only up to a point in this country.
No, it doesn't.
Because we will call you at 5 a.m. if your phone is on.
Definitely, if you call me at 5, you wouldn't get me.
Okay.
Because imagine we having about 200 radio stations in the country and about 10 TV channels. And if each is going to call for about 10 minutes.
Oh, we'll call. As for the calling there, we'll call.
Just check whether my 24 hours will be enough.
Okay. We hope to have a wonderful conversation tonight. Keep your thoughts coming through. This show is big on your views. We expect your thoughts to come through. Check out our Facebook wall. It's facebook.com/metrosports. The Twitter handle is at METROSPORTS-TV, and be part of the conversation. Let's continue our conversation with the new Chief Executive Officer of Hearts of Oak, Gerald Ankrah. Gerald was here at some point in his career. He was working with us here at Metro TV. Your appointment as CEO of Hearts of Oak, if you admit, surprised many. Did it come as a surprise to you?
Well, I would say yes and no. Yes, in the sense
but you admit that it surprised many.
It surprised many because many people did not know those of us, behind the team.
Okay.
So you have been this number of years. Oh yes.
How long?
Oh, if you ask how long, I can say since infancy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
But you've been actively involved with Hearts 3-4 decades?
Yes, ago. Yes. Okay. So basically, some of us have been working quite hard behind the scenes.
Okay.
And apparently, it looks like the work I've been doing within the club has been recognized.
Okay.
And it's time for us to come now to prove what we can do outside.
It's a prestigious position, the highest anybody can attain in Hearts of Oak if you are not the owner. How does that make you feel? A club you have grown up to know, a club you have grown up supporting. Finally, you are the man at the helm of affairs.
Well, it feels quite gratifying, at the same time quite humbling, because it means then that there's been some good jobs that we have done in the club. Okay. I've known the old, I know the new, and I believe that from my position, from where I'm coming from, if I'm able to apply what I know how best to do, this club should succeed.
Let's talk about your long-standing association with Hearts of Oak. What have you been doing? You are not one we have known as a supporter, as leader of the support group, or as somebody who is served in management, or somebody who is served on the board. We have not exactly known your association with Hearts of Oak all these years. You mind telling us a bit about that?
Well, let me say I have served I served my chapter 88 very well.
Okay.
And I went on, became a member of the National Chapters Committee together with Neil Armstrong.
Okay.
When he was the leader of the National Chapters Committee, I was the financial secretary.
Okay.
So we served quite well. And I can say that, as a matter of fact, it was about the first Chapters Committee that never approached management for any funding whatsoever.
You never did?
We never did. We organized whatever we had to do by way of the constitution of the club, and we funded everything nicely.
Wow.
So we can hit our chest boldly to say yes.
You managed properly.
We managed properly.
Wow.
That is it.
So as you did all this, did you expect that you get to the point where you'll be CEO one day?
No.
Did you look forward to it?
No, I did not.
Was it part of your expectations?
No, it wasn't part of my expectations. But I believe in handling, after our tenure as a National Chapters Committee, I was then called upon to organize the elections for the National Chapters Committee. And I think the work I did actually brought some few things up front, as well as the report we issued. And for that reason, I wouldn't say it was me, I did it with the team. So the teamwork was quite good, and I think it was appreciated. And for that reason, it dispelled quite a lot of conceptions and misconceptions others had about the running of the elections. And I think that is what made me come out. Not to talk about maybe my work as in GIBA as well. Yeah. That's an association made up of diverse opinions, 157 members. You can imagine having radio and TV members asking all sorts of questions.
But if you are people like Kwesi Chung.
Thank you very much. So
you work with people like
So I believe having gone through the meal, those issues came up, and I was approached, and that is why I decided to.
How did it happen? How long did it take for you to agree to be CEO of Hearts of Oak? How did the whole thing happen? Because you were never thought of. When Hearts of Oak let Neil Armstrong leave, and the club looked for a new chief executive, you were not one of those we expected to take up this job. Right. How did it happen?
Well, I believe it just like the executive chairman explained, it was through headhunting.
Okay.
So I was called I received a call very early in the morning, I think some few months back, that ABC, they have to appear here and so on and so forth. I met a particular personality on the board, and he explained the issues to me that, look, your name has come up and so on and so forth. I said, Gerald? I said, okay. And so I decided that, look, I should be given some time to reflect on the issues, whether I have to take it up or not. So then something happened. I think I had to travel out of the country, and within that period, I think 2 to 3 weeks, I did a deeper reflection, consulted my aide-de-camp, who is my wife.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to convince her whether I had to move forward with this. And whether I definitely had to seek her support in all that. So when the support came, I decided to move on to, you know, offer myself for this position.
Okay, so it all happened quickly. It took 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. How long did it take?
I guess it was over 3 months.
How difficult was it for you accepting the decision to take up this job? Or easy?
I believe it wasn't so difficult because having had a foreknowledge of the, you know, the structures that pertain in the club, and then some personalities that I think would help in the management of the club, or have had very good knowledge of the management of the club, I found it very, very easy. And these are people I believe are in my good books.
Okay.
So I don't believe it's going to be a very difficult job at all.
Okay, so we're having a conversation with the new Chief Executive Officer of Hearts of Oak, Gerald Ankrah, who is my guest on Sports File tonight. My name is Ernest. Thank you for joining us. We expect your thoughts to come through. Mainly, we do this on our social media platforms, facebook.com/METROSPORTS, or check out our Twitter handle is @METROSPORTSTV and be part of the conversation. I've got some of your thoughts already. I will ask the questions you're trying to ask to the new Chief Executive. But let's just clarify a few things. Yeah. Clarify your role for us. You are CEO of Hearts of Oak, Chief Executive Officer.
Okay.
Please clarify the role. Is that the role?
The role, the terminology for it is the Managing Director.
Managing Director.
Managing Director,
okay.
Yes.
I understand that equates to CEO. It's just
that's right, and working towards the board.
Working towards the board. So you serve on the board?
I serve on the board.
What does that mean? That you have the chance to pick your management team, or there's a management team in place you work with, or the structure allows that you just come in and everything else is in place? What does it mean? No,
I think this is the way it goes. Fortunately for me, I came to meet a very strong technical team which has been appointed. Some other appointment is also going to be made. But I have the liberty, and I've had this from the executive chairman, to make changes as and when I feel like.
Okay.
And it is just to ensure that the mission or the core duties I'm entrusted with is performed.
We'll get into the core duties. Yeah. So you're saying that, how long have you been working? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
Yeah, since the 1st of October.
Okay. So, and today is when? 20. So you take your first pay soon. That's what it means. Maybe by next week.
Maybe that's the way it goes.
So do you have a team in place? You've been working for almost a month.
Yeah.
Do you have a team in place, or you're yet to make appointments to the position of
there's a team in place, and from the various meetings I've had with the various bodies of the club, everybody is accepted that, well, there must be some few changes here and there. I'm going to bring my initiatives to bear on the work that we have to do. But it's been accepted that, yes, there must be some few amendments or changes here and there, just to ensure that we shift up the next level.
If we're to stick to the modus operandi of the modern MD, the modern job of the MD, the Managing Director or Chief Executive Officer, it is very different from what we have known in football. So that if an individual is appointed as CEO of Hearts of Oak or Asante Kotoko, it comes with, okay, what's your management team? So an 8-man management team, 10-man management team, and you find the personality bringing together celebrated people connected to the club in one way or the other to forming a very strong management team with a view of running the club in a certain way. is yours different? So that, like you have been appointed CEO of Metro TV, where you come and there's a head of production, there's a programs director, a head of finance and all that, a head of sport. Is that the case? Is it the modern MD practice, CEO practice, or it is the football
I believe it's more of the modern type.
Modern
now,
type. Okay.
You have people appointed to various positions. But as I said in the beginning, I'm studying the system, and I believe I have the free hand to make changes the way I feel. And if the structure as it's set now is not amenable to achieving what I've been set to do,
you make the necessary changes.
So
what it means is that you not be under pressure to bring on board, say, a Harry Zakor because he's done it before, or bring Alhaji Hart, or name them. All these guys who have been associated with Hearts of Oak over a period, because they often make up the management team or management committee at different points. You won't be under pressure to
there is no pressure
do a collection of celebrated people.
It's not a matter, achievements does not depend on celebrated people.
Okay.
It depends on people who can achieve.
Okay.
And I keep saying that I don't want to talk much, but I want my work to speak for me.
To speak for you.
Yes.
So, as you have started now, 1 month, are you okay with the team you have?
When it comes to management team?
Yeah, I mean your management team.
So far, what I met is quite good, but I'm going to make some few amendments here and there, just to ensure that the core mandate is achieved.
Okay, we'll get into issues of control and all, because I often hear people say, if you are appointed CEO of a club like Hearts of Oak or Asante Kotoko, does not mean you have absolute power. We'll get into that. But what are the expectations of your employers? First, Toby Afede, who is the executive chairman of Hearts of Oak, the most powerful person in the club at this point, because he owns majority stake.
Yeah.
He takes decisions as and when. What are his expectations and that of the people who put you in this position?
Well, I think the expectations are quite clear. I have a 2-year mandate within which to make, meet most, if not all, the expectations as put on paper. I wouldn't want to go into that one after the other, but the core mandate is that there are issues to be resolved, and I am going to make sure I present the board with my mission to achieve the vision that they have set me. And I hope that if I'm able to get them on my side, I don't think we should have any issues at all.
And what mission have they set for you?
No, they have a vision.
They have a vision.
They have a vision.
Okay, and what's the vision? To make Hearts of Oak a global club.
Thank you very much, and precisely so.
Restoring the Phobian glory.
We are restoring the Phobian glory
and
making us the most trusted brand in football on the continent.
That is your job.
That is the vision of the board.
That is the vision of the board.
That's correct.
So that's what they have told you to do.
Yes.
To make sure this is done.
It will be done.
Wow.
It will be done.
Okay. So we'll get into how you're going to do all that. How you're going to ensure that the vision of the board is achieved, coupled with what your mission is. You've been in Hearts as CEO the last 20 or so days. What have you seen? What's the amount of rot in Hearts of Oak? What's the amount of damage in Hearts that you have to repair if you are to restore the Phobian glory?
I think basically what I've seen, I wouldn't say it's a rot, but it's maybe a degeneration, which I'm hoping to work on. The degeneration is that we all have a team. We can only have one leader. And for that reason, I'm going to work on the psyche of most of the followers of the club, the fans, the board, and so on. Decision can be taken by only one person in the club. That is the leader, and all others must then follow suit. And that is precisely what I'm doing. And by and large, within the past few days, I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that I have the support and the support of most of the supporters or the structures of the club that be. And I'm very grateful for that. Most of them are amenable to the changes I want to make or the amendments for that matter. And I believe once we all whip into one line, we would achieve the glory.
And you're saying that you have not seen, you don't think Hearts of Oak is badly damaged. What is the state of the club at this point? If we say Hearts of Oak, you are chief executive officer, you've been in there for a little over 20 days. What's the state of the club?
The state of the club, as to the preparation for the league,
everything. The state of Hearts of Oak.
I believe.
If I ask you what the state of Real Madrid is, you say, okay, it's the most profitable club in the world. They are selling more than anybody, and they are winning on the pitch as well.
Right.
What is the state of Hearts of Oak?
We are getting ready for the league, and our aim is to win the coming league season, the pending league season. We want to take it as early as possible, so that we then have, the expectations of the supporters. But that is not the end of it. There are things that we want to do to engender, the feeling of most fans of the club. And when I say most, I'm not talking about the supporters who come to the field only to cheer. Hearts of Oak is supported, it's supported by quite a retinue of members, top politicians, chiefs, and so on and so forth. We want to bring all of them back to belong to the club. So there are quite some initiatives that are coming on board. I wouldn't want to put them on to the media yet, but we would, as we unfold these initiatives, you get to know that there is something more that we have in store than what we've been doing.
I'm sure that when you thought of either accepting this position or not, you ran your own checks. And one of them was to ascertain what the most difficult challenge Hearts of Oak is facing is. And you've been in there more than 3 weeks. What's the most difficult challenge? What's the biggest challenge there in Hearts of Oak you've got to fix immediately if you are to take off the way you expect?
I believe it's basically one word, that's discipline. And the way we carry ourselves along.
What do you mean?
We have quite a number of fans all spread all over the country, and what I can see is most of us have the feel that they know the in-depths of Hearts of Oak than even the board, for that matter. And I believe then it brings a case of indiscipline. So I'm trying as much as possible, and I hope within the next few days I'm going to achieve that we all follow the vision of the board. If you don't understand it, please refer the issues to me, and I'll explain them as we move along.
So you think the board has a vision, but a large part of your following does not believe in that vision?
Yes, and so then it behoves on me to be the sieve between the board and the fans. And that is what I aim to do, and, achieve some good results for the supporters.
It looks like this has been a problem in Hearts of Oak for many years. How much has it cost the club?
I think I don't know whether we can quantify that, but if for nothing at all, I believe that is what has cost us the league title for the past 5 years. And my immediate aim is to cure that.
Gerald Ankrah is new CEO of Hearts of Oak, my guest on Sports File tonight. Keep your thoughts coming through. Ketsi, our social media platforms, facebook.com/metrosports. And the Twitter handle is @metrosportstv. Some of your thoughts. This is from Obed Boating, who says, first challenge will be the insults. Our Ghanaian supporters are fond of insulting when results are bad. So my advice is that he should have a control of them. But I'm a Kotoko fan, but I love him. A big good evening to all. This is from Obed Boating. In Teshi, Obed says, one of the big things you would have to deal with is insult. You mentioned that earlier.
Yes.
That the direction of the supporters often tend to be opposite what the board or what the handlers of the team think.
Yeah.
The direction they want to take the team.
Now, the issue is this. I use a generic term, indiscipline.
Okay.
And within indiscipline is the insults supporters, heap on players. I keep saying that we only have 3 outcomes in a match. You win, you lose, or you draw. So whatever comes, supporters or fans must be able to accept it. I think the basic problem then erupts when you tend to be losing too often.
When the results are
not coming. Then, you know, supporters tend to feel they know much more than what is happening on the field. But by and large, from what I've seen, they are quite okay with the technical team. Everybody is happy with the technical team. And
but they are not happy with the players you have. We'll get into all that.
No, we'll get there.
Have they told you they are not happy with your transfer activities prior to the start of the season?
No, I don't believe that.
You have not picked up that?
No, I haven't picked up that. The issue is simply that when you put so many players together, you have the problem with coordination.
Okay.
And that is exactly what the coach is working on.
Obviously, they feel they are players you targeted in the off-season. Either you failed to raise the money or you mismanaged, so those players you could not land. We'll get into the details, but I'm sure you've picked this up that the fans may be happy with the technical team because they applauded the work of the board when the technical team was outdoored, but they have not shown that same level of excitement as regards your transfer activities in the off-season.
And that takes time.
That
takes time to have a team gel.
Okay.
You know, I mean, you cannot put a couple of players together and expect them to perform like the Hearts of old.
Okay.
You know, so let's be patient with the technical team. They have identified the various flaws and they are attending to it. Okay. And that is the essence of the various practice matches that we are having, just to make sure they know, the technical team know precisely how to pair the players on the field.
Okay, Yachum says, great to have Gerald Ankrah as MD of the club. However, he must have a big heart and ready to face the challenges the job will come, especially the passionate Hearts of Oak supporters. And that leads me to ask you, have you bothered to find out why Hearts of Oak will make 3 big changes in the area of chief executive, managing director in 3 years?
Have
you cared to ask maybe a Fred Krenzel, a Neil Armstrong? Why did you guys leave? Because I'm the 3rd CEO in 3 years.
I've taken this position up and the consultations have started.
Okay.
There may be various issues, but I think that's what I've gone under the bridge. What I expect to do is to learn from issues that have been raised and then project them into the future. And that is where I aim to bring her.
Why would anybody say you need a big heart to do the Hearts of Oak chief executive job?
Well, because the conceptions and misconceptions are quite many. You know, just as I said from the very beginning of the program, most supporters think they know more than, you know, the executive chairman himself. And that is where then there must be a sieve. So we have started a process. I've started consulting with the various structures, and believe you me, Hearts of Oak come next season will be a different Hearts of Oak.
Okay, he's welcome to the Phobia fraternity, and I wish him well. We, the supporters, will give him the needed support for him to achieve his aim. This is from Abi Sentry. Benjamin Nana Bain says, Mr. Gerald Ankrah says we'll win the league this season, while we don't even know when we are starting. Those who took the mantle before him made such huge promises, like he's doing now, but nothing better came out of it, and I bet he will suffer the same fate or prove me wrong. Okay, I'm sure there are people who are already daring you to prove them wrong. Let's get talking to our resource persons. Kojo Adai-Mensah, a long-standing columnist for the Kotoko Express newspaper, is the official mouthpiece of Asante Kotoko, one who has been associated with local football for many years. He's also the CEO of Data Bank in Ghana, one who has huge experiences working in the banking sector with the likes of Stanchart, Barclays, Ghana Commercial Bank. So he finds himself in a similar position as Gerald because he's also CEO of a big organization. He's been talking up, first of all, Gerald's chances of doing well as Hearts of Oak chief executive. And you have some advice what Gerald must do if he's to succeed in this role.
I mean, why not? Look, Hearts in 2000 were invincible. I mean, their bottom line was very positive. It's been done several times. Nyahotamaklo did it as well. So, I mean, it really saddens me when both Hearts and Kotoko go through these turmoils. It's part of football. I mean, the Madrids of this world go through the same turmoil. Bayern Munich at one point in time went through the same. But what it is that in Ghana, the unfortunate thing is we don't make us stronger and better. Sometimes when we go through the turmoil, then it makes us crash completely. Then this rebuilding story comes again. So Hearts of Oak, it's very manageable. It's an entity that can be very profitable. Look, Hearts have a very, very large following. And they have passionate supporters. They have people who will come to the stadium week in, week out. They are even lucky to have their team based in the capital, where the economic activity is highest, so the disposable income again is highest. So if Hearts are, if the boards allow the management to run their course, I mean, yes, the board directs. So if you are going wrong, you'll be told, hey, check it here, watch it here. But what happens is that managements are not allowed to really express themselves and run their course. You see board members having ideas here and ideas there and are trying to push it. So if you don't have a very strong CEO like Nyaho was, or like maybe Zakor was, then you see things just going haywire. So it's important that they get a very strong, dedicated CEO who will also put his vision across and put his foot on the ground and say, this is what I want to do. You either allow me to do it or you don't appoint me at all. So I'm glad that a new CEO has been put in place. I'm glad the board sort of, at least from where I stand, they are giving him his full backing, because Ghana football needs these two clubs. Everybody says, why is it can't be always Hearts and Kotoko? I'm sorry, in every country, it's two clubs, maximum 3, and that's it. With all due respect to Edubiase, to Brekum Chelsea, to Eduana, they all came in, flash, go. But bottom line, who pulls the crowd? It's Hearts and Kotoko. So even though everybody knows where I stand, I really, really would wish that Hearts pick up and become the strong force that they were, and then we can go into Africa, both Kotoko and Hearts, and reclaim our position. You know, I think we are back to two slots again. We need not lose that. And how don't we lose that? Hearts of Oak has to do well. Kotoko has to do well. I wish the new CEO the very best, but I pray that the board allow him to work and give him the resources. Sometimes you throw the person in the ring and tie his hands, one hand, and we want him to box with the other. It's not possible. First of all, he shouldn't be afraid to lose his job. You know, the moment you are afraid to lose your job, you get compromised, and then you start taking wrong decisions. So 1, he shouldn't be afraid to lose it. 2, he should be confident enough to seek out sponsorship for the club. And that sponsorship should primarily go to the players. He shouldn't seek sponsorship that goes to either his pocket or goes to the pocket of his management team. Or it should go to the pocket of the players and the technical team. These days, the players are very quick to leave the shores of Ghana. For even $1,000 contract, they are leaving. But trust me, if they are with their family here and they are being praised and they are being recognized anywhere they go, oh, this is the player, this is Prince, this is that, and then, you know, people are mobbing you, they feel it. So if he can pay them enough through sponsorship to keep them together for at least 3 years, trust me, he will succeed. He will succeed, yeah. But, like I said, PLB has to come in, the positioning of our league, the marketing of the league, the branding of the league, all those things need to come to play as well. You can't do it alone in isolation.
Gerald Ankrah is Chief Executive Officer of Data Bank, speaking to us. Yes, he said a number of great things. And that leads me to ask you, is Hearts of Oak manageable?
Hearts of Oak is totally manageable.
You're sure?
Oh, yes.
It's a very difficult club. You have,
no, it's not
you have a very difficult
no,
executive chairman.
No, it's not the truth.
Who is spoken of in large quarters as somebody who likes to have his way all the time.
No.
He may not have the sort of appreciation people expect, you know, of football, but he still wants to be the man in charge all the time.
But that is the
and
reason.
he takes decisions
No, he is an executive chairman. He doesn't take decisions for the club.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I stepped in.
Okay.
I think one of the
My
conditions
understanding is the reason the job may be very difficult for you to do.
No.
You're
I
sure?
think as a visionary, most people do not actually fit into the vision of such leaders.
Okay.
The issue is get the big picture and see to fit into the big picture, or work towards achieving the big picture. And I don't think any
There are benchmarks for you.
Yes.
Kudrada mentioned Harry Zakor, undoubtedly the most successful we have seen at CEO level in club football in this country. Because if you win 6 titles in a row, that's absurd, isn't it? If you dominate Africa over 2 years and all that, the likes of Dr. Nyau Tamaklo have done it. These are benchmarks. Can we return Hearts of Oak to that level?
that's our
Is
aim.
it possible?
And I said we were going to make Hearts within the medium to long term, again, the most trusted brand or most trusted football club in Africa.
Tell us the plan. How do you intend to do this?
No, I'm not going to do that.
You're
now.
sure?
Yes, because
How do you
others are
intend to do
watching.
this when
But
2
I'm going
other
to
people have
present-
served in your role the last 3 years
But I'm going
and
to-
couldn't do it?
No, I mean, it's not a matter of they couldn't do it. It wasn't that. There were issues that maybe resulted in them resigning. But I'm telling you that the vision of the board is clearly spelled out, and we have to fit in.
What
into
is
the
that vision? That you want to become what? Bayern Munich? You
Bayern
want to
Munich of
become-
Africa and Bayern Munich of the world. That is the aim of the board. And there are so many things we can do or that have been put in place that we have to follow, and I believe we can achieve that.
And you have
the
a
shortest possible time.
You have a startup mandate of 2 years. You think that's enough to do that?
That's a medium-term thing.
Okay.
That's a medium-term thing. Now, going beyond the 2 years, what do you want to achieve? Beyond 4, 5 years to 10 years, what do you want to achieve?
Kojo
That is-
says you shouldn't be scared of losing your job, otherwise you'll be compromised. And a lot of the time, that's what happens to a lot of the CEOs we have seen manage clubs in this country.
Yes, but then those
Especially
are,
Hearts of Oak and Asante Kotoko.
well, those
Because
are
if you are
those
not
are,
Asante in his pet, then after some time he gets angry and he says, go. If you are not Toby Afede's pet, then he says, okay, I'm tired of you, you should go.
I don't believe, again,
You're sure?
those are misconceptions. Because definitely if there
But we're
is a
yet to have
discordance,
anybody prove that
if there's a
wrong.
discordance between what the board is aiming to achieve or the vision of the board and then the management, then definitely there will be an issue.
So you're saying you are very clear on what the board expects.
Yes.
What the executive chairman wants you to do.
It's not
You're
a
very
matter
clear.
of the executive chairman, it is the board.
It is the
and
board.
I would wish that we go straightly by that it is the wish or the vision of the board. That's what I'm going to
Has
follow.
Toby Afede overriding powers as chairman of the board and as executive chairman of Hearts of Oak, as the majority shareholder of Hearts of Oak? Has he overriding powers so that the rumors we pick up all the time that, oh, yeah, Toby is so powerful sometimes, he ignores what everybody else says. He's the main man.
Well, I don't know
So he
about
could have a change of heart tomorrow and say, okay, I'm not pleased with Gerald. Gerald should go. And that's it.
The question is whether the mandate as enshrined or given to Gerald is being achieved or not.
Okay.
That is the issue. Okay? So if the mandate is being achieved, wherein lies the need for Gerald to be fired. Now, if Gerald is even exceeding the mandate, would you then come back to say he has to be fired? These are the issues. So then it's not a matter of Togwe. No, it's a matter of the board. Board. That is how I want us to take these issues.
Duncan, who was coach of Hearts of Oak, was on track, but surprisingly he was asked to go. And when you comb around and you try to do the investigations, everything ends at the doorstep of Togbe. Togbe is so powerful. He took a decision for Duncan to
I
go.
believe this program is for Gerald to tell you precisely how he's going to achieve the vision of the board.
We are trying to answer the question whether Hearts of Oak is manageable. It is a huge club.
Yeah.
So that managing it is not very easy, is it?
No, I don't believe that. I started by saying there are structures in the club that has enabled the club to survive this far since 1911. And for that reason, using these structures will enable us to achieve more and build upon it. Build upon the structures of the club. I mean, we just started by, I started by consulting the NCC, and they've all bought into the mission as I have. there are some more initiatives coming that is going to even make us exceed what we have on paper. Okay. And I'm saying, watch out for the new Hearts of Oak.
Wow. Gerald Ankrah, yes, one who is a cheap results a lot of the time with GIBA, which is the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, with Metro TV as well. So he's hoping to do that with Hearts of Oak. Let's do some more of your thoughts. This is from Comic Green Street, who says, I want to know from Mr. Ankrah if he wants to chalk his success off the field or on the pitch. Does he have plans of bringing in major sponsors?
Oh, that's my...
He's asking if you want success off the pitch or on the pitch, because what we know clearly Hearts of Oak have done over the years is to either win success on the pitch, which you have done largely, but off the pitch, because the year after you won the Africa Club Championship, the Champions League, and dominated African football, the following season you had over 60 players on the training pitch. New players you had recruited, plus the old ones who won the titles, and you clearly mismanaged.
Yes, all those have been lessons for us. Okay. And if I'm to tell you that, what we have done, currently Accra Suffolk has only 36 players on its payroll. Only 36? Only 36. Okay. Now, so, and we are working on some other issues or some other initiatives to, ensure the growth of the club into the future, such as having a nursery team to build up. You've
talked about these things for a very long time. What are you doing differently? Because we hear these things. When we spoke to Neil Armstrong, who was chief executive at some point, first of all, he was supposed to be on this platform. He failed to come. Woefully, started his problems as chief executive. Yes, I mean, we must say that clearly. He said all these things, restoring the Phobian glory and how we're going to go about making Hearts of Oak a very attractive brand and all. What are you doing differently from what those gentlemen did and failed to achieve the success?
I believe Neil's tenure was a bit too short.
Was a bit too short
for us to.
So what are you doing differently?
What I'm bringing to the table is integrity and a different way of doing things.
And what is that different way of doing things? That's what I want to arrive at. What's that different way of doing things?
A different way of thinking.
A different way of thinking.
It's not only by winning. You wanted me to tell us or explain what you are going to achieve both on the field and off the pitch. Yeah. And I am saying that, look, we have concentrated too long on pitch victories. Let us now translate the on pitch victories into something off the pitch.
Wow.
And this is where
there's a plan to achieve that.
There are plans. I mean, the sponsorships, the rebranding of the club, and so many other things.
You seem to have a big job.
Yes.
Big job.
Yes.
Are you ready for it? Do you have the heart for it?
We have started.
Okay.
Once we have our shoulders to the wheel, we cannot go back.
Let's go listen to Alhaji Brahima, who is popularly known as Alhaji Heart. He played for the club. He served in management, served on the board. He has thoughts on his expectations of Gerald Ankrah, who is new chief executive officer of Hearts of Oak.
He knows inside Hearts of Oak. And I'm hoping that he will get courage and be a powerful man and speak his voice. If something is going wrong, he doesn't like it. Because when I was a small boy, let's take that when I'm a small boy, if we sit in the ballroom and something is going on wrong and I don't like, I spoke to my elders. Even Togbe himself, he knows me very well. That is where I am. So I'm hoping that Gerard will begin a free hand. Also, he'll be a man of himself. If something is going on wrong, if this is going wrong, we should speak. But if he said that he's going to sit down and nothing but a yassa, there will be a problem. He's been there for a long time. He knows them. Supporters like him, he also like that, I know. If now that he had jumped to the one step, he think he wanted to change, then he's in trouble. So for our relationship, it's up to him to build the relationship. That's why I'm praying every day for Mr. Herbert Ado. May Almighty Allah guide him to do whatever he want to do. The same thing Herbert Girardo had to cooperate with Mr. Herbert Ado, so that all to work together, including the supporters, so that never say that spirit will come back. We are praying. Girardo only cannot money. He can't do anything about it. He doesn't have a kind of that money. We have a board. And like we say, or you should push and talk to them and see whatever they can do. The flotation we have, I don't know how much is the flotation. If there's something small they can do for us to have an even training ground, we don't have a training ground. Today we are here, tomorrow is here.
Okay, Alhaji Ibrahim, a former Hearts of Oak player, served in management, served on the board. He's got interesting thoughts. And I keep hearing people say you need courage, you've got to be strong. Why do you think they keep making reference to courage and strength and being a man if you are to lead Hearts of Oak to restoring the Phobian glory?
I believe this question should rather go to them. Because I am coming you know, to the table with something I believe can help the club achieve its aim. So that question should be answered by them. But I can assure them that, just as Alhaji said, I've been there and I know the various, you know, bridges that have to be mended. And I've started it. And I believe within a very shortest time, we would start enjoying the fruits of the bridges that we're building.
Coach Adam Mensah says you're put in the ring as chief executive, one hand is tied to your back and you're allowed to fight with the other. By that he means you may not have absolute support from everybody. Have you thought about that? How do you negotiate that?